to be part of this meeting. I can't say we have recognized you all as Adishia. The stool is vacant, and we know one of you is going to be elected. But only as a candidate, not as a president. And we shall all pray.
And may God bless you all. God bless. And may God bless you all. God bless NPP. God bless Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On the back of that powerful galvanizing message of our acting chairman, we will sing our party's national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very party anthem. It is a very inspiring, brief national party anthem. So you don't have to do too much to be able to sing it. So I invite all our invited guests, if you feel it, join us, if you may. But Forson, if you can key the party anthem for me, it's very simple. We are the new patriotic party. The elephant is our winning symbol, and we shall win 2028 to save Ghana. Party, we are the new patriotic party, the elephant is our winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. The elephant is our winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. We shall win to save Ghana. We shall win to save Ghana. The elephant is our winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. Fancies are winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. Hey! Hey! She rado. Rado. Thank you very much. That was easy. It was very inspiring. I saw everybody singing it with laughter because this is what the future is about. Thank you very much so far. I invite my colleague, Dr. Antoinette Tibudako, to take you through this first half of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. So we'll just continue with acknowledgement of dignitaries that joined us just before we started. With a round of applause, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our dear aspirants, help me to welcome His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our former president. Excellency, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We'd also like to welcome Honorable Akosia Prema Osei Opari, the first female Chief of Staff of Ghana, who is also a chairperson for our Council of Patrons of the new Patriotic Party. Thank you very much for joining us, Mami. Also at the high table, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our own chairman of the Council of Elders, Honorable Hackman Owusu Agyapong. We have heard from our acting national chairman, who's also the chairperson of this event, and would like to, of course, a round of applause for my boss and the General Secretary of the new Patriotic Party, Lawyer Justin Kodia Frimpong. Once again, we recognize the presence of the chairperson of the Presidential Elections Committee, Chairman Joseph Osei Owusu. And then, of course, Osahini, the Honorable Alexander Afenyomakin, the strong minority leader in Parliament. Thank you all very much. The times that we are in, our aspirants have graced this occasion with their presence. And if they were not here, this August occasion would definitely not have been possible. So I would mention their name, would give them a round of applause, just a symbol, a token of our deep appreciation for joining us here this morning. Number 1 on the ballot is Honorable Kennedy Ohini Agyapong. Thank you for joining us, Honorable. Number 2 on the ballot is the Honorable Dr. Bryan Agyapong. Number 3 on the ballot is His Excellency Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia. Number 4 on the ballot is the Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Edutrin. Number 5 on the ballot is Engineer Kwabena Eje Agyapong. So once again, our aspirants, congratulations for coming this far. We are honored to have you join us today, and we crave your indulgence that you stay with us until we finish this program successfully. Thank you all very much. Without much ado, let me invite to the podium the first Deputy Speaker of the 8th Parliament and former member for Bekwai, Honorable Joseph Osei Owusu, who is the chairperson for the Presidential Elections Committee.
Your Excellency, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, former President, Madam Osei Opare, Prima Osei Opare, Honorable Dr. Hackman Osu-Agyeman, Chairman of the Council of Elders, and members of the Council of Elders, IGP Yohonu, and the entire team, members of the Council of Peace, or is it Peace Council, National Peace Council. Contestants, permit me to call you today the team of saints, the 5 members of the team of saints. Colleagues, the Presidential Election Committee, national officers, party members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I think it is appropriate at this point to apologize to 2 sets of people, members of the National Peace Council and the police, because they are the only guests, so to speak, that we invited to join us. But we gave them 11 o'clock. We delayed so much. Kindly forgive us. We could have done, we should have done better than this. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the main purpose of this peace pact is to get the contestants to affirm that the process has so far been transparent, inclusive, and fair. That we want them to commit to accept the results and want them to commit to support whoever wins out of the 5 members of the team of saints. We believe that this will allow or enable members of the party to build the sufficient confidence we need to be able to freely campaign and vote for who they choose. Our faith and prayer is that this pact will be taken seriously as a pact, a binding act between them, the team of saints, the party, and our God. I pray that at the end of it all, the New Patriotic Party will come out of this stronger and ready to face 2020 general elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Joseph Osei Owusu. I'd like to now invite the former Speaker of the 6th Parliament of Ghana and the 2-time MP for Dome Kwabena, the Right Honorable Professor Mike Aaron Okwe. Prof will give us a message on peace and the electoral process within the New Patriotic Party.
acting chairman of our party, Bute, popularly known as Chairman Bute. Former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Chief of Staff, Dr. Hackman Owusu Agyapong, Honorable and Chairman of the Council of Elders, our distinguished elders duly seated, Honorable Osei Owusu, Chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, and your good members who have worked so tirelessly to make us reach this stage, General Secretary of the party, and other party officials here present, the IGP, EC representatives, National Peace Council members, our distinguished minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Makin, and his leadership, as well as former ministers and honorable members of parliament, past and present, our distinguished contestants. It's a pleasure to be part of this meeting. I can't say we have recognized you all as Adishie. The stool is vacant, and we know one of you is going to be elected, but only as a candidate, not as a president. And we shall all pray that we shall be united and fight together behind the one who emerged. I recognize you all, and I pledge, together with my colleagues, to work together that our fourth flag bearer of the NPP will lead us to a victory in the ensuing election. I worked closely with our late senior brother C.K. Tedam in the evening of his life. He had one positive refrain for all of us. It echoes as such: united we stand, divided we fall. I pray and I plead with my contesting younger brothers. Achia Nsumuye. And for that matter, we must have faith in you. In the name of Dankwa, Dombo, Busia, Bechebilamti, Ametowobla, and the faithfuls departed, please do something honorable for the new patriotic party and our tradition. In saying this, I am mindful that unfair practices, partiality, and baseless preferences have sometimes happened in our party, which have destroyed or shaken our unity. And this is the very reason why last time round, when we were going Congress head office for posterity. And we trust that by the end of the exercise, we shall all be glad and continue to be members of one united family to work for victory for our beloved party. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important event to underscore the fact that nothing is happening by chance, nor reckless in any manner. The National Peace Council officials all have become part of this public event. We trust that by the power of the Almighty, our purpose will be achieved through the conduct of these good gentlemen. We thank you very much in the name of the tradition that gave birth to democracy in this country, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. That was a strong message. Coming from an icon, we didn't expect any less. At this point, I'd like to once again acknowledge the presence of the members of the National Peace Council. Just to tell you, we are honored and we are very grateful that you have joined us. Nana Ifa Painting, thank you. Bishop Hilliard Dogbe, thank you. Sheikh Arimeyal Shaibu, thank you. Madame Georgette Francois, thank you. Dr. George Amu, the Executive Secretary, thank you. And Mr. Frank Boja, Director for Conflict Resolution, thank you. We truly appreciate your presence in joining us. Please, a round of applause for them. Our acting national chairman has spoken, so we would invite the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Lawyer Justin Frimpong Kodia, to give us his statement. Thank you.
Thank you. Our acting national chairman, Chairman Smith Dankwa-Bute, our revered former president, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our mother, former chief of staff, our chairman of the National Council of Elders, Dr. Hakma Usu-Ajiman, our leader in parliament, minority leader, Osanhene Afenyo-Markin, IGP and your men, reps or members of the National Peace Council, our fathers and mothers of the National Council of Elders, colleague national officers, our dear aspirants, ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing a very important day. It has been termed the peace path, but I'll refer to it as a commitment path. The commitment on the part of our aspirants to affirm that indeed they are true patriots, and after January 31st, they will still continue to be true patriots. That is what we refer to as commitment path. Indeed, our constitution is very clear, and all of us here, irrespective of our positions, are governed by our constitution. Sitting down and looking at our Council of Elders, once upon a time, some of them had the ambition to lead this great party of ours. They went through the contest. They didn't win, but they never forgot that they are members of the New Patriotic Party. And today, they are not former presidents. They are not former presidential aspirants, but they are members of our National Council of Elders. So to our 5 aspirants, as you all know, we are going into a contest. Certainly one of you will emerge, not just as a winner, but to take the mantle of leading us to the greater battle in 2028. But the remaining 4, that shall not be the end of your life. Just as we have seen our revered Council of Elders here, maybe one day you will also become Council of Elders of our great party. That's the beauty of democracy. In our quest to ensure that we have a free, fair, and transparent elections, the National Council constituted what we refer to as the Presidential Elections Committee, chaired by our revered Honorable Joseph Oseus. And I'm happy that all the 5 aspirants, wherever they stand, they have commended the work that has been done by the Presidential Elections Committee. Again, I also commend my colleague national officers. We may have interest, we may have preference, but we have been able to manage ourselves very well so to the extent that none of us has publicly been seen endorsing any of the presidential aspirants. And kudos to our national officers also. Acting Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, for every elections, what every aspirant expects is to see a free, fair, and transparent elections. And indeed, by conduct, at least by the Presidential Elections Committee, we can all attest to it that even in the compilation of the album, which is supposed to be the work of the Presidential Elections Committee, in order to ensure transparency and fairness, our aspirants have been involved from day one in compiling the album for the election, which is to guarantee free and fair election come January 31st. Again, also, with respect to security, I'm happy our revered IGP is here. What is important for us as a party is to make sure that aspirants, voters, and even those who have a role to play on January 31st will be able to do their work in a free, fair, and secure manner. And we are sure the IGP and his men will guarantee us total peace and security in all our voting centers. IGP, I will not do your work for you, but I want to use this medium to send a strong caution to any person in our party or outside our party who has any intention of discrediting or trying to mar the beauty of our democracy come January 31st, that be careful. That on that day, the IGP and his men will apprehend anybody who tries to cause chaos on January 31st. The chairman, I cannot take my seat by also making this important comment to our aspirants. Please, all of you should understand that none of you alone, even when you win, can secure a victory in 2028. And therefore, you will need the support of your brothers to be able to win the elections in 2028. And therefore, let us not see that this is just a fair contest. This is a contest of just how to show that have the support in the party. Whether you have the support or not, when you win January 31st, you will still need our brothers to carry you on for us to win the elections in 2028. And I can assure you that as the administrator of the party, every support that we need to give to all our aspirants, and even after the elections, the process of reconciliation to bring everybody on board, you can trust us that we are fully prepared and ready to support you to make sure that we rally ourselves together to fight for the victory in 2028. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, General Secretary. Would I like to invite the first female Chief of Staff of Ghana. She's now the former Chief of Staff, and she's in the person of Honorable Frema Akusia Osei Opari.
Former President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our Acting National Chairman, Mr. Dankwa Smith-Bute, the General Secretary and leadership of the New Patriotic Party, the IGP and his team, Chairman of Council of Elders, Honorable Hackman Owusu-Agyapong, Minority Leader, Honorable Osahene Afenyo Markin, the presidential candidates of the New Patriotic Party, representatives of the National Peace Council, and sorry for my omission, I should have acknowledged our former first Deputy Speaker of Parliament and Chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee earlier on, Honorable Joseph Osei Wusu. Distinguished party members, I'm delighted to be part of the signing ceremony of the Presidential Elections Peace Pact, as we commit to peace, unity, transparency, free, fair, and credible elections. I bring you warm greetings from the National Council of Patrons and commend all the 5 aspirants and your representatives for agreeing to sign the peace covenant. In the past few months, all 5 of you have been trekking and crisscrossing the nooks and crannies of our country, canvassing for votes and energizing the base of our party. The National Council of Patrons acknowledges the difficulties involved, energy required, and the resources committed towards this endeavor. Now, in less than 10 days, the highly anticipated 2026 NPP presidential primaries will take place across the country, and we all have a duty to remain united afterwards. Distinguished presidential candidates, in my work as the chairperson of the party's Conflict Resolution Committee from 2010 to 2020, it became clear that our electoral losses, both in parliamentary and presidential elections, can be largely linked to the many internal conflicts within the party and our inability to heal faster. We are unable to forgive ourselves, reconcile, and move on after our internal elections. The National Council of Patrons admonishes that under no circumstance should the choice of the delegate in any of our internal elections degenerate into irreconcilable disagreement, knowing that most of the positions in MPP remain elective positions. This peace pact that we are about to sign today is not only for aspirants and delegates, but also for all of us as MPP members and sympathizers. Therefore, the need for all aspirants to educate and encourage their supporters to see this important election as a time-tested tradition of our party. And we are all required to come together to prosecute the 2028 election. We need all hands on deck to win 2028. I urge whoever emerges victorious to embrace all other contestants and their supporters in a meaningful way by making them an integral part of the campaign at all levels. As the famous Mother Teresa said, if we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Ladies and gentlemen, let the country, the region, the constituency, polling station feel that we, the Great Elephant Party, is indeed united. We are focused and disciplined for victory 2028. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank Thank you very much, Auntie Frema. She's also the chairperson of the Council of Patrons for the New Patriotic Party. And now I'd like to invite one of our dignitaries and invited guest, a representative of the National Peace Council, to give us a short statement. Thank you. With a round of applause, please let us welcome Nana.
Good afternoon. As you've been told, my name is Nana Ifapente. I'm the Paramount Chief of Bompata in Ashanti, and I have unqualified pleasure to make this statement on behalf of the National Peace Council. Our immediate past president is Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the chairman of Council of Elders, the chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, the IJP, flag bearer aspirants, the general secretary, the functional executives, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for the National Peace Council to participate in this historic meeting by the New Patriotic Party family to sign a peace pact as a key measure to safeguard the peace of the party and by extension, the peace of the nation in the lead up to the very important election ahead to elect a flag bearer to contest the 2028 general elections. Honorable Chairman, I extend the full compliment of the Chairman, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofi Fiano, and the entire National Peace Council to the NPP for taking this significant step to ensure peace before, during, and after the 31st of January elections. The Council wishes to commend the NPP for demonstrating good democratic tenet to be the first political party to internalize Peace Pact, modeling the Peace Council-led Presidential and Parliamentary Peace Pact, which has now become a key component of Ghana's general elections. The message you are sending with this democratic exercise is that internal party cohesion is directly in sync with national resilience and unity. This enduring legacy of exploring non-violent means to address intra-party conflicts is an assurance to sustain the peace within the party leadership and supporters, and ultimately strive for progress and development of our country, Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, any contest for a vacant position will naturally generate conflict. Conflicting opinions are normal in human life. In your case, 5 people are contesting for one position. Conflict experts will tell you that any situation of this nature will naturally attract conflict dynamic. The pursuit of incompatible interests, values, goals, among others, between 2 or more parties is what we mean by conflict. In this context, the ideas of 5 different people in the pursuit of one vacant position of a flag bearer to lead the party could not be the same. However, the ability of these different people to rise above personal interest and accept the winner and choose the path of peace for the collective good of the party and the country will then show the resilience and preparedness of the party to contribute positively to the country's democracy. It is also important for all stakeholders of the party to play their role in a manner that assures the candidates fairness and credibility that leave no doubt for acceptance or rejection of the outcome of the elections. the National Peace Council is hopeful that you will contribute to building an internally strong party-based foundation of trust and confidence in a system that will leave an indelible mark on Ghana's democratic process. The Council urges the candidates to submit themselves to the remedial measures that the party has put in place in the pact to be signed today. In the event that any or all of the 4 contestants who will not be successful in the January 31 elections are dissatisfied with any of the steps in the elections, please use the laid down party mechanisms, including the mechanisms in the Peace Pact, to address grievances. The one successful person must also be gracious and magnanimous, and remember the African proverb that says that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Remember that violence has never been the solution to addressing grievances anywhere on the planet. It can only escalate it. The National Peace Council assures the NPP and all political parties in the country that we are available to facilitate mechanisms to make political parties stronger and resilient to serve the country. Once again, the National Peace Council wishes you a successful delegates conference on 31st January 2026. God bless the NPP. God bless all our political parties. God bless our whole land, Ghana. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Nana Ifa Painting. Would now like to invite the Inspector General of Ghana Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohunu, to give us a statement.
Acting Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the former President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, the General Secretary of the NPP, Minority Leader of Parliament, the former Chief of Staff, representatives of the National Peace Council, the Chairperson, National Council of Elders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Some few weeks ago, the NPP party wrote to the police to inform us that the security for the forthcoming presidential aspirant elections will be solely handled by the Ghana Police Service. I want to assure you that we have been able to identify all the areas where the elections will take place. We have 276 plus 1 polling centers. We have been able to make our operational plans. We have met all our regional commanders who are responsible for these areas where these elections will take place. We have gone over all the preparations over and ready to go to the field. The exception of Boku, that is the area that we may need the support of the military. And so we have written to the Interior Minister to inform the Minister of Defense so that we have military support in Boku. All other areas countrywide, the military will be on standby. We are assuring you that at least 70 is the least number of a police number that will be at each police station. We have deployed heavily. All senior officers countrywide are going to be at the polling station. We have the inner deployment, the middle deployment, and then the outer deployment. Outer deployment is heavily loaded. I want to assure you that we have done a lot of training and preparation, and that my regional commanders have called me and said that they are even ready for the elections today. As the caution has been given by the General Secretary, the caution is that we will not entertain any parasecurity at the police station. We have heard a lot, social media and others. And sometimes some of the leaders of the party have forwarded some voices to me to let me know that some group of individuals are planning to deploy macho men. Yes, we are cautioning that the police are more macho than the macho men you deploy. And that when it comes to the stage, that these macho men will not take advice from the caution that is given them. And they come to the police station and then we arrest them. I'm pleading. Nobody should call me. The word is that police is ready. And so we are giving you all the assurance that we'll do our work peacefully. And then we'll contribute heavily to make sure that at the end of the day, the one you want to be the presidential candidate who you want to let the person stand for the NPP party will come out victoriously under a peaceful security arrangement. And so, Honorable Chair, police, I want to thank you for reposing this confidence in us that you want the police to do this security, to provide a security. And we are happy to come here in our numbers because what is happening today is about signing of peace pact. And because we are peace officers, that is why we have come here in our numbers. All that we want is that there should be peace so that at the end of the day, everything will go on successfully and we shall all enjoy the fruits of the exercise that we have gone through. Thank you very much, and God bless everybody as we prepare for this election. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the IGP of the Ghana Police Service, Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu. Thank you very much.
The acting chairman of our party, our revered former President, Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, chairman of the committee that put all this action together, Madam Chairman of the Council of Patrons, Chairman of the party and the leader of our leader in Parliament, Honorable Sewusu, our friends and colleagues, contestants, my colleagues, members of the National Council of Elders, may I respectfully also acknowledge the National Peace Council and their representatives and my former ambassador to the United States. But most interestingly, I'd like to welcome our friends, the peace officers. They are super macho men, so that's very good. We are delighted that you are here, and all our colleagues. At the very outset, yesterday we had the privilege of being briefed by the chairman of the Parliamentary Presidential Election Committee, and we were pleased with the actions that have been taking place under their guidance. To allow me to commend the Presidential Elections Committee for the work they have done so far. From all indications, they have discharged their mandate with diligence, fairness, and transparency. This is not an easy task. And as elders of the party, we acknowledge and appreciate their efforts. They deserve our collective confidence and support as they bring this crucial process to its conclusion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, elections by their very nature are some emotional events. We are all human, and it is natural that passions may run high, especially after the declaration of the results. However, we must all accept a fundamental truth. At the end of the process, there will be only one winner. The peace, stability, cohesion of our party will largely depend on how we, especially the candidates, conduct themselves after the primaries. The processes leading to this point have been fair and transparent. We therefore appeal strongly to all the candidates to remain absolute in their confidence in the Presidential Elections Committee and the established institutions, including the Ghana Police Service. There's no need for private security arrangement. Trust in the system that we have collectively built over the years, which is essential for preserving peace and order. And for that, I say, if any of you have any macho groups, have any people who are going to give us problems, I say, dismantle them now. Dismantle them now. From 1992, we have always conducted our internal elections without problems. And I'm hopeful that this time too, it will be the same. So whatever you have, which is contrary to the regulations, please dismantle them. You are people, you are party people, our nephews, please dismantle them. We further plead with all the candidates to refrain from making accusations against the committee or the party after the elections. Such actions, particularly when emotions are high, can undermine confidence in the party and erode the unity we have worked so hard to build. Leadership demands responsibility, restraint, and a commitment to the greater good of the party. The ceremony and the memorandum of understanding to be signed today are therefore not mere formalities. No, they represent a solemn pledge on your part to place the party above the individual ambition. The party is supreme. It is through this party that we have produced President of the Republic and implemented policies that have transformed lives across the nation. None of us is bigger than our party. We are mindful that tensions may also arise among supporters. This is natural in any competitive contest. However, candidates and leaders, as candidates and leaders, you bear special responsibility to calm your supporters and not inflame passions. Words spoken and actions taken in moments of tension can have lasting and damaging consequences. True leadership is demonstrated not only in victory, but also how disappointment is managed. Let us therefore, by our conduct before, during, and after the primaries, demonstrate to the people of Ghana and the international community that our party is committed to peace, unity, internal democracy, and respect for the rule of law. Let us protect the image of our party at all times, regardless of the outcomes. As elders, our colleagues are saying, our appeal is simple. Our appeal is simple, sincere. Remain united, remain disciplined, and remain committed to the ideals upon which our great party was founded. If we do so, we will emerge from this process stronger, more cohesive, and better positioned for the task ahead. I'd like to thank you all, and I wish all the candidates the best of luck on behalf of the National Council of Elders. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our chairperson for the National Council of Elders. We crave your indulgence. We are almost done with all our goodwill messages and statements from our dignitaries. We'd now like to invite the Minority Leader in Parliament, Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin.
Acting National Chairman of our party, Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic, Chair Council of Elders, Chair Council of Patrons, Chair Presidential Elections Committee, the IGP and members of the Police Management Board, members of the Peace Council, Presidential Aspirants, Council of Elders, national officers, colleague leaders in Parliament, and members of the Minority Caucus, patriots, and members of the media. Let me start off by saying that opposition is painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up calls. They ignore us, and they find new friends. We are living it. We feel it every day, and surely none of us wants to remain there. We want power to serve, to transform lives, and to move Ghana forward. But power does not come through division. Power comes through discipline. Power comes through unity. Power comes through sacrifice. Let us therefore rise above anger. Let us rise above insults. Let us rise above short-term emotions for long-term victory. Let us protect the party that has given us voice, purpose, and hope. And when the contest is over, let us close ranks, lock arms, and march forward together, stronger, wiser, and united towards victory 2028. Our future depends on it. Our party depends on it, and Ghana is counting on us. Acting Chair, colleagues here gathered, political competition is a necessary and healthy feature of every democracy. However, it is how that competition is managed, particularly in moments of heightened ambition and strong emotion, that defines the maturity of a political party and ultimately the stability of the nation. Internal party elections are not merely contests among individuals. They are tests of institutional strength, discipline, and commitment to shared values. The choice to focus on peace at this stage is therefore both timely and commendable. Peace does not happen by accident. It is the product of deliberate leadership, clear rules, mutual respect, and a collective decision to place the long-term interests of the party and the country above short-term personal gains. Ghana's democracy has been sustained over the years because political actors across party lines have repeatedly demonstrated restraint in movements that could easily have descended into conflicts. This reputation has not come cheaply. It must not be taken for granted. Distinguished aspirants, your supporters look to you not only for vision and policy ideas, but for cues on conduct. The tone you set will be a tone that filters down to the grassroots. When leaders speak with restraint, supporters listen with restraint. I humbly, therefore, on behalf of the mighty 87 in Parliament, urge all aspirants to conduct their campaigns with civility, respect for internal regulations, and unwavering commitment to peaceful engagements. Disagreements are inevitable in any competitive process, but they must be managed through dialogue, established mechanisms, and the authority of the party's institutions, not through public confrontation, insinuation, or rhetorics that deepen divisions. Today is not an ordinary party ritual. It is a test of leadership and patriotism. This peace pact is not only about who wins on January 31st. It is about whether on 1st February and beyond, the MPP will still be strong, united, and credible in the eyes of Ghanaians. Ghana is watching a party that has, at its best, delivered significant reforms. Talk of the free SHS, talk of the health insurance, talk of the industrialization drive, 1D, 1F. Ghana is also watching a party that is anxious, polarized, and yearning for competent, honest, visionary leadership again. The stakes are higher than the ambitions of any single aspirant in this room. Unity and the cause of division. Let's note, the history of this tradition teaches us a simple truth. Whenever the MPP is united, it is formidable, and whenever it is divided, it bleeds, and Ghana pays the price. Remember the 1979 election. The PFP and the UNC. The rest we all know. Factionalism may energize internal contests, but it weakens the party's capacity to win national election and to govern effectively. And I was sad hearing that the respected Professor Frimpong Boateng saying publicly that he did not vote in 2024 elections. This is what division can do to us. It's unfortunate. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is conduct. It is a discipline to disagree without destroying one another. The humility to accept outcomes we may not like, and the maturity to place the national project above personal disappointment. Every single insult traded, every unsubstantiated allegation Every attempt to demonize a rival today becomes a weapon in our opponent's hand tomorrow. At this delicate moment, the internal division heralding the 31st January contest are not confined within the walls of this party. They spill over into the nation's governance. A fractured MPP does not only risk losing another election, it weakens Parliament's ability, especially the mighty minority's ability, to stand as a bulwark against excesses, impunity, and bad governance. When leading figures are at war with each other, when energies are spent on intra-party skirmishes instead of national oversight, the NDC government and the majority in Parliament are given a free pass. As your caucus in Parliament is determined to repeat the industry of the J.H. Mensah 1997 group of 61, we must say that our ability to act with vigilance, cohesiveness, and fearlessness in holding the current administrative to account shall materially depend on the unity that we carry to do our work in Parliament. That duty will be undermined when indeed the internal contest is poisoned by mistrusts, name-calling, and threats of retribution. A house divided at the grassroots and in the leadership ranks cannot be a formidable opposition in Parliament. Every time party actors choose internal sabotage over solidarity, they blunt the sharp edge of the minority's oversight. When committees need unified backing to investigate corruption, when critical votes demand tight coordination, and when national crisis call for clear, united voice, internal fractures translate into parliamentary weakness. Let no one deceive themselves. The divisions surrounding this primary go beyond party offices. They risk crippling the mighty minority's collective and effective ability to check the Mahama administration and the majority in Parliament. If this primary becomes a festival of insult instead of a contest of ideas, if it leaves behind bitterness instead of brotherhood, then the real victor will not be any aspirant on this stage. The real victor will be a complacent government and a comfortable majority who knows that a divided MPP cannot credibly challenge them on corruption, economic hardship, and institutional decay. As presidential hopefuls, you are not just candidates. You are standard bearers of the NPP tradition. Your words can inflame or calm. Your body language can reconcile or rupture. Before January 31st, your responsibility, my dear aspirants, is to campaign on ideas, record, and vision, not on insult, threats, and division. Your teams must be guided by discipline in their messaging and respect in their engagements. On 31st January, you must submit fully to the agreed processes, respect the Electoral Commission, committee, obey security directives, and ensure your supporters avoid intimidation, vote buying, and violence. After January 31st, your obligation is to accept the verdict of the delegate with dignity, whether it favors you or not, and to work publicly and unequivocally with the elected flag bearer. A peace pact that ends with signatures, but not with changed behavior, is a betrayal of this moment and of Ghana. If this peace pact is to have meaning, it must translate into clear commitments. 1, refrain from personal attacks and character assassination, focusing instead on policies and competence and vision. To reject violence, intimidation, and any ethnic or regional incitement. to use internal party mechanisms, not public warfare, to resolve grievances, to stand together with elected flag bearer within days of the results, and to integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Emphasis: integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Ghana needs this party back, not as a wounded, quarreling organization, but as a renewed, united, serious alternative. The country does not need leaders who are prisoners of their egos. It needs leaders who are servants of the Republic. To conclude, let me respectfully and humbly, but with firmness, submit to our aspirants. Your greatest legacy will not be whether you became a flag bearer. It will be whether your conduct helped preserve and strengthen this tradition and empower the mighty minority to hold this government to account, to the leadership of our party, and force these commitments fairly and firmly. To the grassroots, refuse to be used as instruments of division. Let this peace pact be more than ink and handshakes. Let it be a covenant with delegates, with this tradition, and with the people of Ghana. That is this party, that this party will be worthy of another opportunity to serve. And that, united, it will equip the mighty minority to fearlessly defend the Republic of Ghana. Thank you so much for your kind audience, and God bless our party.
Thank you very much. That was the minority leader. I would now like to invite, finally, the former president of the Republic of Ghana, a slight change in the program. We'll go ahead with the second part of the program, and His Excellency would address us after that. So I'd now like to hand over to my colleague, Richard, as he manages and takes us through the very important part of the program, the Peace Pact document. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tibudako. Thank you all. Very supportive and very strong messages have come. Please, can we be quiet? We're still advancing, and perhaps this is the most important part of the program. So let's manage the noise. The story we are writing here today has 3 legs, and the chairman of the committee told us that, and I'd like to reiterate that before we get into the signing. The peace pact that we signed today is an indication and affirmation by the candidates that they affirm the process has been free and fair thus far. It is also an act to indicate that they are committing to accept the results of the 31st poll, and also that they are affirming and committing themselves to supporting the eventual winner of the contest, the flag bearer of our party eventually. So this is a very solemn and a very important event. And to proceed, I'd like to invite our respected aspirants to take their seats on my right, and I will invite them in the order they appear on the ballot. Our first candidate or aspirant is the Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. Second person, Honorable Dr. Bryan Agyapong. His Excellency, former Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. The Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Educhum. And at number 5, former General Secretary of our party, Engineer Kwabena Agyapong. At this point, I would invite the chair of the committee to read the highlights of the compact that we're about to sign, and then we'll proceed to signing it. Thank you very much. Media, please. Okay. So please, media, and for those who are standing up, I think we have indicated we want to have a very clean event. So please, let's minimize the disruptions, the movements, so that we can have a very clean event. Thank you very much. The chairman is on the floor.
Thank you very much. Some little guidance for the contestants. You will receive copies of the document each, and each one of you has his or her name. You will sign where your name is, the first one. Then you pass it on to the next one. Then the next person will sign his name on where you started, and it goes on to the next one, so that by the time it goes round, every one of you would have signed all the 5 copies that have been sent to you. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, these are the terms of the Peace Pact. 1, acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the process has been conducted in accordance with the principles of transparency, fairness, participatory or inclusive manner, with all the presidential candidates aspirants afforded full and equal opportunity to participate at every stage. We hereby formally acknowledge and expressly affirm satisfaction that we actively participated at every level of the process. 2, acceptance of presidential election results. We commit to accepting the results of the 1st January 2026 presidential primaries for the party, and we will respect the outcome irrespective of the results. We further reiterate and pledge to accept the outcome as a valid, authentic, and binding expression of the will of the delegates and the collective decision of the party. 3, promotion of peace and cohesion. We pledge to work together to maintain peace and cohesion within the party before, during, and after the primaries. We will refrain from engaging in any actions or rhetoric that may disrupt party unity. 4, commitment. We pledge to remain committed and loyal to the new patriotic party, regardless of the outcome of the presidential election. We shall remain active, committed, and dedicated members of the party at all times and work hard to recapture power in 2028. 5, support for the winner. We commit to diligently and conscientiously work to support the winner of the party's presidential primaries, both during the 2028 elections and in securing a sweeping or working majority in the next Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. The support will be aimed at achieving the overall success of the new patriotic party. Enforcement mechanisms. Any disputes or violations of this MOU will be subject to resolution within the party's established internal dispute resolution mechanisms in accordance with the party's constitution. This MOU shall be in effect from the date of signing until after the 2028 general elections. Thank you very much. I will give copies to the contestants each. Kindly pass on to the next one. Each one has to give, yes. Kindly give one to each one of them, please.
Signing 7. So I think it will be better if we finish.
Yes. Finish the first one, which ends. That's right.
Opare, who is the chair of Council of Patrons, will also sign as a witness. And last but not least, the indefatigable Honorable Alexander Apenyo Markins will sign also as a witness. No, Martin.
All right. In the meantime, audio no enya maye no mame chechiremu ne na ekoso ho ama MPP for chama bute ne chama for ne empanfo mo to ho no omote air condition mo so na ehye odi omo kene Agyapong tumi na afa omo akompre kwa Agyapong ne homframa na afa omo yenyina ne akotena ase ne ahyehyɛ se abaya ye kwa akotu ise ko kan na se be koduru ba bi na se ho security a breaking us and almost kind of ban with them. I am penny. Amadi Adenema Bawumia Oji one kind pun or sign yet. A branch ample one can or sign. Agyapong kind munina and son or sign. No one will come to my year free. And no, I'll let it say no. We are not going to agree unless they're more accepted. And we tell a meeting hot tea, no more break in and not Muntia as my chairman Becca.
But let me also assure the contestant. That's what we have said. The committee has so far worked with you to the extent that none of you has an issue with the work we have done. We are handing over the rest of the election to two national institutions which we each have confidence in. However, if there is evidence at any polling station that anything was done or tolerated that affects the integrity of the election at that polling station, we will take steps to annul the results from that station. That assurance, on behalf of the committee, I want to give it to you. We gave that assurance before the Electoral Commission. The EC chair herself said so, that if there's any evidence brought to her to show that any misconduct has affected the integrity of any particular poll, that particular poll will be annulled. So be assured. If you see anything that you think affects, please bring it to our attention. We'll investigate, and if we are firm, we will take the necessary steps to protect the integrity of the election. Thank you very much. We are very grateful.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So the process is almost done. The chair would present the signed copies to the candidates, signifying their commitment and affirmation that the process thus far has been free and fair, and that they have committed themselves to accepting the results of the 31st elections, and that they have committed themselves to support the eventual winner of the polls. Thank you very much. That was a beautiful exercise. They stand today as competitors, but their presence here and act shows that they are committed to the higher act and duty of protecting peace and unity of our party. Thank you very much. I'll invite Dr. Tibudako to carry on with the rest of the program.
Thank you very much. Please, photographers, can you move back a little bit? And if we can have some silence, would now like to invite the former president of the Republic of Ghana, our own Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Acting chairman of our great party, minority leader in parliament, the Inspector General of Police, the former Chief of Staff, members of the National Peace Council, members of the National Executive Committee of the party, the chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, distinguished presidential aspirants, chairman of the Council of Elders, honorable elders, and members of the party, fellow patriots, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm honored to be here at a moment that is significant, not only for the new patriotic party, but also for Ghana's democratic journey. Let me begin by congratulating our national officers, the chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, and all who have worked diligently to organize these primaries coming up in just 9 days' time. You are overseeing a process involving the largest number of delegates in the history of our party. That achievement speaks to the growth, depth, and democratic maturity of the new patriotic party. We're gratified by the presence of the Inspector General of Police and his senior officers at this ceremony, and by the undertakings he has given us today. They are reassuring signals that the proceedings of 31st January 2026 will be conducted in peace and security. IGP will count on you and your men and women to do a good job. Ladies and gentlemen, our party did not begin today, even though a handful of us were privileged enough to be around in its early days. It did not begin yesterday. Its roots go back to 1947, with the formation of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, from which the Dankwa Dombo Busia tradition proudly draws its lineage. At that founding moment, a clear and principled decision was taken. Leadership would be determined by the ballot, not by force, intimidation, or intrigue. George Alfred Park Grant was unanimously elected president and chairman. J.P. Dankwa and R.S. Blay became vice president. R.A. Awono Williams served as treasurer. The other members of that inaugural executive committee were Edward Akufo-Addo, Emmanuel Obeche-Bilamte, J.W. de Graaf Johnson, John Sybil, and Kwabena Kese. They were men of strong views and strong personalities, but they were united by discipline, mutual respect, patriotism, and an unshakable belief. That lesson was reaffirmed in 1992 after the first presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party. Once the party chose Professor Albert Eduboahene as our flag bearer, all the other aspirants, including Dr. Kofi Jane Selby, Mr. John Agyapong Kufuor, and Dr. Kwame Safo-Edu, closed ranks and supported him. I was campaign manager of the flag bearer at the time, and I saw firsthand what unity meant, how discipline, sacrifice, and collective purpose strengthened the party, even under the most difficult conditions of the time. That spirit must guide us still. Fellow patriots, a party that cannot manage victory with humility or defeat with dignity cannot expect to win the confidence of the Ghanaian people. As we are reminded, a house divided against itself cannot stand. In such a house is certainly not attractive to the electorate. Ghanaians are watching not only what we say, but also how we behave. I know the campaign has generated some heat among aspirants and supporters. I believe I'm qualified to say that we have seen it all before. Do not be discouraged by the excesses. The thirst for power and the unity required to win power must combine to motivate us to choose fraternity over factionalism once the primaries are over. Me another personal reflection. In 1998, I contested the presidential primaries and came second to John Agyapong Kufuor, subsequently the second president of the Fourth Republic. When the contest ended, I did not hesitate. I became his chief campaigner. That decision was not about convenience. It was about conviction. The unity we demonstrated then helped deliver the first historic presidential victory of the NPP in 2000. And when years later, it became my turn, beginning in 2008, I received the same level of loyalty and support from those who had once competed against me. That tradition of fraternity carried us through difficult moments and enabled us to win and serve God. This is the inheritance we must protect. We should never forget that the ideology of the new patriotic party remains deeply attractive to the majority of Ghanaians. Our commitment to individual liberty and the respect for human rights, private enterprise, the rule of law, human development in a society of shared prosperity resonates across this country. When we falter, it is rarely because our ideas have failed. This peace pact, this commitment pact, is therefore not a mere ceremony. It is a solemn covenant, a commitment that ambition will not override fraternity, that competition will not descend into hostility, and that once the ballot has spoken, the party will move forward as one. The aspirants gathered here today, your conduct will shape the moral tone of the NPP and the future of our country. Your supporters, the grassroots, and the youth of this party are watching you. History will judge not only who wins, but also how all of you conduct yourselves. Let me be clear. The NPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken the collective cause. Unity is not optional. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is a strategic necessity for victory. So I charge all of you, this peace pact must not only be signed, it must be lived. Over the remaining days, let your campaigns be firm but fair, competitive but respectful. Ours is a tradition that rejects fear, insult, intimidation, and bitterness. Loyalty to individuals must never supersede loyalty to the party. After the primaries, there must be one party, one direction, one destiny. Let me end with confidence on a positive note. I have no doubt that the new patriotic party remains the best vehicle with the best ideas for Ghana's future. Our duty is to keep that vehicle united, disciplined, and worthy of the trust of the Ghanaian people. If we honor our history, respect one another, and put party and country above self, the future of the NPP and of Ghana herself will indeed be bright. Thank you, and I wish us all a peaceful, dignified, and unified process. May God bless the NPP and our homeland Ghana. Make both great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The chairperson for the event, our acting national chairman, would now give us the closing remarks.
Your Excellency, the former President, thank you so much. IGP, Peace Council, Council of Elders, my executives, my party members present, aspirants, Presidential Election Committee, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy today for hearing what the IGP said, meaning there will be peace during and after the elections. Thank you, IGP. I wish all the 5 aspirants best of luck. I know Saturday coming will be the day of the elections. And you know that one of you will become the winner. And as my father said, we are one party. We don't have any party apart from NPP, New Patriotic Party. I thank you, all of you, for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Before the closing prayer, we'd just like to take the official photographs so that we are able to do that in an organized manner. Because we have dignitaries here, and we know that if we do the closing prayer, there will be confusion because then we've ended. So we just ask for the next 5 minutes, we'll take official photographs, we'll say the closing prayer, and then we can finish with the media press briefing. So we'd like to invite the 5 aspirants to stand up. Please stay where you are. And yes, please. Give the mic to the chairperson of the General Secretary to tell us the manner in which everyone must stand for the photos.
So what we will do is that we ask the aspirants to come in front and hold your hands. Please, we want you to stand in front of the table, then hold your hands. Yes, you can stand in front of us, here, in front of us. Then you face the camera. Please move back. Please move back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you hold your hands. You hold your hands. You hold your hands. Yes, photographers, you can take the pictures. So continue to be where you are. We ask our revered dignitaries on the high table to join the aspirants whilst we take a group picture. So please, let's join the aspirants. Let's join them. Let's join them.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Please, the dignitaries join them first. Would like to invite the IGP. No. Please wait. When they finish, yes. So that these are the aspirants and the witnesses. We now invite the National Peace Council and the IGP to join the aspirants. You can go, yes. Thank you. No, after we invite you. Council of the Elders, Council of Elders. Thank you very much. The Council of Elders, please. Council of Elders, please. Council of Elders with aspirants. Yes, please. Sorry. The Presidential Elections Committee will come next. Please get ready. Council of Elders. Photographers, please hold on. Tell you when you are ready. Please ready for the Council of Elders. Yes. Thank you very much. Please, I'd invite the Presidential Elections Committee to join the aspirants. Presidential Elections Committee. Thank you very much, Council of Elders. And after that, finally, national officers, please get ready. The Presidential Elections Committee. Chairman. Honorable, you didn't take with the dignitaries. And finally, national officers, and then we are done with official photographs. All national officers, please come and take a picture of the aspirants. All national officers, deputy national officers, please. Officers, attention, please. The closing prayer. Huh? Please, the police, please. IGP and aspirants. The aspirants, please. The aspirants. Please. Please kindly let's maintain order. We have a final photograph. The aspirants with the IGP. Invite the minority leader in Parliament, Honorable Alexander Afenyomakin.
Acting National Chairman of our party, Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic, Chair Council of Elders, Chair Council of Patrons, Chair Presidential Elections Committee, the IGP and members of the Police Management Board, members of the Peace Council, Presidential Aspirants, Council of Elders, national officers, colleague leaders in Parliament, and members of the Minority Caucus, patrons, and members of the media. Let me start off by saying that opposition is painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up calls. They ignore us and they find new friends. We are living it. We feel it every day. And surely, none of us wants to remain there. We want power to serve, to transform lives, and to move Ghana forward. But power does not come through division. Power comes through discipline. Power comes through unity. Power comes through sacrifice. Let us therefore rise above anger. Let us rise above insults. Let us rise above short-term emotions for long-term victory. Let us protect the party that has given us voice, purpose, and hope. And when the contest is over, let us close ranks, lock arms, and march forward together, stronger, wiser, and united towards victory 2028. Our future depends on it. Our party depends on it. And Ghana is counting on us. Acting Chair, colleagues here gathered, political competition is a necessary and healthy feature of every democracy. However, it is how that competition is managed, particularly in moments of heightened ambition and strong emotion, that defines the maturity of a political party and ultimately the stability of the nation. Internal party elections are not merely contests among individuals. They are tests of institutional strength, discipline, and commitment to shared values. The choice to focus on peace at this stage is therefore both timely and commendable. Peace does not happen by accident. It is the product of deliberate leadership, clear rules, mutual respect, and a collective decision to place the long-term interests of the party and the country above short-term personal gain. Ghana's democracy has been sustained over the years because political actors across party lines have repeatedly demonstrated restraint in moments that could easily have descended into conflicts. This reputation has not come cheaply. It must not be taken for granted. Distinguished aspirants, your supporters look to you not only for vision and policy ideas, but for cues on conduct. The tone you set will be a tone that filters down to the grassroots. When leaders speak with restraint, supporters listen with restraint. I humbly, therefore, on behalf of the mighty 87 in Parliament, urge all aspirants to conduct their campaigns with civility, respect for internal regulations, and unwavering commitment to peaceful engagements. Disagreements are inevitable in any competitive process, but they must be managed through dialogue, established mechanisms, and the authority of the party's institutions, not through public confrontation, insinuation, or rhetorics that deepen. Today is not an ordinary party ritual. It is a test of leadership and patriotism. This peace pact is not only about who wins on January 31st. It is about whether on 1st February and beyond, the NPP will still be strong, united, and credible in the eyes of Ghanaians. Ghana is watching a party that has, at its best, delivered significant reforms. Talk of the free SHS, talk of the health insurance, talk of the industrialization drive, 1D, 1F. Ghana is also watching a party that is anxious, polarized, and yearning for competent, honest, visionary leadership again. The stakes are higher than the ambitions of any single aspirant in this room. Unity and the cause of division. Let's note, the history of this tradition teaches us a simple truth. Whenever the NPP is united, It is formidable, and whenever it is divided, it bleeds, and Ghana pays the price. Remember the 1979 election, the PFP and the UNC. The rest we all know. Factionalism may energize internal contests, but it weakens the party's capacity to win national election and to govern effectively. And I was saddened hearing that the respected Professor Frimpong Boateng saying publicly that he did not vote in 2024 elections. This is what division can do to us. It's unfortunate. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is conduct. It is a discipline to disagree without destroying one another. The humility to accept outcomes we may not like, and the maturity to place the national project above personal disappointment. Every single insult traded, every unsubstantiated allegation, every attempt to demonize a rival today becomes a weapon in our opponent's hand tomorrow. At this delicate moment, the internal division heralding the 31st January contest are not confined within the walls of this party. They spill over into the nation's governance. A fractured NPP does not only risk losing another election, it weakens Parliament's ability, especially the mighty minority's ability, to stand as a bulwark against excesses, impunity, and bad governance. When leading figures are at war with each other, when energies are spent on intra-party skirmishes instead of national oversight, the NDC government and the majority in Parliament are given a free pass. As your caucus in Parliament is determined to repeat the industry of the J.H. Mensah 1997 group of 61, we must say that our ability to act with vigilance, cohesiveness, and fearlessness in holding the current administrative to account shall materially depend on the unity that we carry to do our work in Parliament. That duty will be undermined when indeed the internal contest is poisoned by mistrusts, name-calling, and threats of retribution. A house divided at the grassroots and in the leadership ranks cannot be a formidable opposition in Parliament. Every time party actors choose internal sabotage over solidarity, they blunt the sharp edge of the minority's oversight. When committees need unified backing to investigate corruption, when critical votes demand tight coordination, and when national crises call for clear, united voice, internal fractures translate into parliamentary weakness. Let no one deceive themselves. The divisions surrounding this primary go beyond party offices. They risk crippling the mighty minority's collective and effective ability to check the Mahama administration and the majority in Parliament. If this primary becomes a festival of insult instead of a contest of ideas, if it leaves behind bitterness instead of brotherhood, then the real victor will not be any aspirant on this stage. The real victor will be a complacent government and a comfortable majority who knows that a divided MPP cannot credibly challenge them on corruption, economic hardship, and institutional decay. As presidential hopefuls, you are not just candidates. You are standard bearers of the NPP tradition. Your words can inflame or calm. Your body language can reconcile or rupture. Before January 31st, your responsibility, my dear aspirants, is to campaign on ideas, record, and vision, not on insult, threats, and division. Your teams must be guided by discipline, in their messaging and respect in their engagements. On 31st January, you must submit fully to the agreed processes, respect the Electoral Committee, obey security directives, and ensure your supporters avoid intimidation, vote buying, and violence. After January 31st, your obligation is to accept the verdicts of the delegate with dignity, whether it favors you or not, and to work publicly and unequivocally with the elected flag bearer. A peace pact that ends with signatures, but not with changed behavior, is a betrayal of this moment and of Ghana. If this peace pact is to have meaning, it must translate into clear commitments. 1, refrain from personal attacks and character assassination, focusing instead on policies and competence and vision. To reject violence, intimidation, and any ethnic or regional incitement. To use internal party mechanisms, not public warfare, to resolve grievances. To stand together with elected flag bearer within days of the result, and to integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Emphasis: integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Ghana needs this party back, not as a wounded, quarreling organization, but as a renewed, united, serious alternative. The country does not need leaders who are prisoners of their egos. It needs leaders who are servants of the Republic. To conclude, let me respectfully and humbly, but with firmness, submit to our aspirants. Your greatest legacy will not be whether you became a flag bearer. It will be whether your conduct helped preserve and strengthen this tradition and empower the mighty minority to hold this government to account. To the leadership of our party, enforce these commitments fairly and firmly. To the grassroots, refuse to be used as instrument of division. Let this peace pact be more than ink and handshakes. Let it be a covenant with delegates, with this tradition, and with the people of Ghana. That this party will be worthy of another opportunity to serve. And that, united, it will equip the mighty minority to fearlessly defend the Republic of Ghana. Thank you so much for your kind audience, and God bless our party.
Thank you very much.
Hello, I have
that was
maintained
the minority leader.
And over that all the 5 gentlemen that are contesting are party people, are credible. They can win elections on any given day. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Bryan an astute businessman, Agyapong, an engineer par excellence, talk about Oseyewa Juchum, a very good educationist. But with all these people, Ken Agyapong stands out tall. I have always maintained that I will not run anybody's research down. It takes a lot going into research and doing research all over the place and all that. As a person who have been involved in one research or two, I wouldn't run anybody's research out. But then, like I always maintained, we are on the field. We know what delegates want. We know what Ghanaians want. Listen, NPP is going to the polls to elect a leader. The election is going to be done by approximately 214,000 people, and would take that person to Ghanaians and ask Ghana, Is this what you want? So that 80 million Ghanaians will vote, pass a judgment on what we brought to them. If you look at all that is going on, sometimes when I look at some of these researches that come out, yes, it is supposed to inform us, it's supposed to educate us, it's supposed to make us set up when we see some of these researches that come out. Because you come up with his findings and write-ups. But just as Professor Sapon has put his research out there, yesterday, Evangelia also publishes putting Ken at 52%, winning. Safe Africa also put their projection out there, was Agyapong winning by 51%. So every research base and then whatever results that they have come out with. But then one thing that I would speak to, Professor Sapon was talking about popularity. You see, when we talk about popularity and marketability, it has to do with acceptability, acceptance, and then credibility and trust. If you are well marketed, people will trust you or will accept you. But then let's look at all the other candidates out there. I believe and I think the person that Ghanaians resonate well with and then delegates are ready to vote for is candidate Agyapong. Because
you mean the delegates of
MPP are going to vote for him.
How many delegates do we have?
We're talking about 214,000 delegates out there. Okay.
Majority want to vote for Ken.
They would vote for Ken.
Why is that not reflecting in the research outcomes?
Listen,
I mean, compared to the one has been published.
That is what I've just mentioned, that the research outcomes that have been published out there, this Professor Sapon telling us about his research that he did. And I've just mentioned that Evangelia also came out and said that Agyapong will win by 52%. Just yesterday, he publishes his research. It's out there. And then Safe African last week also said Ken will win by 51%. Okay? So, everybody. And then his research methodology. And then how he went about his research. Okay? That's why I said I will not run anybody down when it comes to research. Maybe his sampling size shows that this is what I think should be the results at the end of the day. Yesterday, when Evans' research came out, he said...
That's
Dr. Evans Drea. He said his sampling size was approximately 31,000 people. Okay? So, everybody will come up with... But then I think and I believe and I know for sure from all the places we have visited, from the places we've been to in this campaign, and then the message that all the aspirants, yes, suitability, unifier, popularity, every one of them is speaking because NPP is what they have. When we are done with this primaries, we have to come back together as a house, unify everybody, and then rally behind whoever the delegates will choose as the next leader of NPP. But if you ask me, Agyapong's message resonates well with them because he's talking about creating jobs, which has become the bane, the problem associated with the Ghanaian economy today, where we have almost about 1.3 million graduates not having jobs, and it's becoming a national security. And he's saying that, listen, in every single district I've been to, I've identified a single potential factory or thing that we can do to support people.
But it's been done by Akufo-Addo and DMB, one district, one factory.
Listen.
He's repeating the same policy?
We are not repeating the same policy. Ken is a doer. He has a track record. Okay? When it comes to ensuring that things are done, he's done them over the years. He's created jobs, almost about 16 different companies. Aseda Cold Store, which is, has a 31,000 tonnage fishery thing that in the whole of West Africa, there's none compared to it. Okay, he's done them in the past. He knows how to do them. And so when he goes out there, Njobe de wama bibi. What you say? So, but then this is a man that he is a doer, he's an achiever, he's done them in the past. So he can always do them and then bring them to fall. That is why Ghanaians, a lot of the Ghanaians out there, a lot of the delegates out there are in support of his message. And Ken Agyapong, believe you me, by the 5 p.m. 31st January, he will be the new flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party.
5 p.m. is the close of polls.
Close of polls is by 2.
It's by 2. Okay,
yeah.
So 5 p.m. is when you hope that the delegates.
Kwesi, I know you were far away from where the event took place, but during the signing of the pact, your candidate was seen raising some concerns before he finally signed that particular document. Do you have an idea of the issues he had? Can you tell us what the problem was?
Yeah, I mean, certainly I do have an idea, and I've had briefing from him and also from our Director of Elections. Let me also hasten to add that for us, we can speak for ourselves. First of all, he took the opportunity to read through the entire document, which in itself is symbolic of a very good leader. Initially, the expectation was that the organizers would have served the parties with the documents, the peace pact, so that they would have read earlier and know the details and content of it before they come for the event and undertake the ceremony. Unfortunately, we did not get the documents as earlier agreed amongst the parties. So Ken had the first-hand opportunity to go through the documents at the venue. And recall that prior to that, the parties had earlier agreed with the Presidential Election Committee and the Electoral Commission that where the voting centers will also be used as the collation centers, and the declarations will also be made there. And so in the event that there is any mishap, that security is compromised, those centers may not be counted. And that was what was agreed at the aspirant level, together with the Electoral Commission and the Presidential Election Committee. So they agreed on principle that it should be part of the terms of the Peace Pact, which unfortunately was not found in it. So those were when Ken objected that, well, this was an earlier agreement that we resolved as parties that it will be in the Peace Pact. I have read through, I'm not seeing it. So it is only natural that I object, pause, raise the reservation for it to be addressed. And lo and behold, when he led that charge, the chairman of the Presidential Election Committee even admitted that it was an omission, and of course made a verbal assurance that subsequently they will insert it. So I think Ken led that charge, and indeed, hopefully, we hope that that will be resolved. So for me, if you ask me, that was a reservation that was raised based on an observation after carefully going through the Peace Pact or the documents.
What
Peace Pact. Na sequence we are back to on so say na dey nsem gohoro oba.
The same party. Peace Pact. And yeah, we could do NDC and NPP the minimum besan.
War parts.
Peace Pact to internal contest. Oh yeah, it's and matching is who and pay opinion pool be
a second attitude with 52% plus.
But Masa, what can't there now? Opening now, opinion pool. If anything, Dr. Evans Dia. So will be a being power and opinion pool. Now, Ushe and some no dear to Jana. Or say, so opinion pool no or no one can say, me
too.
Or see, and your prediction, great can we treat me saying. Just say, on cassette or no dear to Jana, baby.
Near Ujidi said, baby.
There be,
so I say, your prediction.
I was saying your prediction.
Into a fact.
But some indication be.
A survey, or say indication.
The sample size, you know.
No, said they.
The report knows that while allocation assumptions affect absolute margins, they do not alter competitive order, reinforcing robustness of Mr. Kennedy Agyapong. Regionally,
before the same gravity,
baby. I see a prediction, crap. Kwame, our daily guide, Katafe Tosumi and San, why kind? A prediction. It's a prediction, and a day. I say a indicative of what? Yeah, bro, no, one trust bro, sir. Now, having too much confused.
Because we then can't bro.
Because media means opinion pool. Send me a TBR, a travel me bit to me as see.
Yeah.
Now, when one also a cassette, you pool no, yeah, no. The same pool. We interpreting no coin visual. A year, a compre cum Kennedy Agyapong would lead it to the first round victory, 50-something%. Now, since we interpreted the same opinion pool now, only did here, but we have 40-something%. Kwame put there was a school no akuko bia.
Kwesi na misua wa.
Kofi Annan Center akuko bi.
Kwesi na misua wa. But I say under the more conservative worst case scenario, which retains undecided and undisclosed responses explicitly, Mr. Agyapong maintains first position with 47.07.
Yes. But
Bakuya 52.59.
Yeah.
Just what it
Hey. Alabraka. Mu ya mabo na school no amko ya nkobi o. Ana mu popo esa na ya ya mabo. Kwami enfe no entry hansa.
Me tie.
Enfe no entry hansa. Me no sa pulupulu ya bai. Me mi wojedi wo mu pa ya info global
influence Musa
Dankwa. Nente mi wojedi wo mu ni se wa ya na mribi obeye bia no results no ba daso kim. To establish a certain level of credibility on them chair. Now last one Odiba Bontin says obi eni ho a cross the finishing line. In fact, those were the words he used. Obi eni ho a cross the finishing line.
That's 50% plus 1.
50% plus 1. He says nebeye bia no. For global info analytics, the last pool or Dubai, I mean, so the people be ban sana yakwa. The best CBR no. 1 year, now second round they kwa kubem.
Sano kan one.
Yeah, nobody has closed.
But I say one lady.
Well, a number of pools on Dubai, no, not just Dr. Bawumia Edika, but I said Dr. Bawumia ko onya enough votes. Be man winning first round. I'm sure. Now here Niabeya. Dr. Evans Dua should be a bear.
But also a bit or a team Ken.
That's what I did for now.
Yes, or a team Ken.
Oh, in the same fashion. So we team Ken now can no crash. And your problem, no problem. The problem is interpretation. I had dos na kwa emi no. Nti wa madwum wa mi huni amemfa ohun am channel. But ono na ko school kese ono na
ono kra PhD modu
PhD anya de kitwa o ntu kra bi ono ancha
yes or a financial economist and lead researcher
onye ni paketwa
David o jane na so
enti eno na ko ban sa asemo di bisa ni se anyenye bia ni omu keka che yakobemu a na nipa so omu si akan omu ye nnum Ushe numuya, ushe votes are allocated my opinion pools now. I say, Yeni Bryan Agyapong crown or deterred by the third in the moon shadow and yedins. Where Dr. Evans
Dua.
Yeah. On number 8%. And I'm a
Bryan Dua.
Who deterred the answer a moon shadow and yedins.
Okay.
Now here a union back Dr. Educhum and the Agyapong and I said 1% to grab all. Oh, I'm chairman. It's a Kobana sa na ye second round. And you be a Agyapong. Why no be quatanage? Dr. Bawumia and I say ordinary 0 point something percent me quota Dr. Bawumia and as over here. So Kobanso mun second round. Dr. Educhum, Mwachi no betai, and most importantly, Bryan Agyapong. There's a one shot, not Bryan Agyapong, never a kingmaker.
Okay.
Bryan Agyapong, one shot, on never be a kingmaker. A bear niggy, a bear fe, yes, say yes. Coming, I can't say no musino, and no may be a seer, me who say be a cedar, especially in the New Patriotic Party. Now, no mean they train me. One more a complex question for Master book pa or much proper Kwame book
PhD no.
PhD.
That's the title of the book, PhD.
No call launching
patriotism, honesty, discipline. I'll check.
No call launching Alisa.
Yeah, Alisa yeah.
No more could be no Kwame. It is a festival. So we bufasu enije ni ade. I'm not the officer na.
Yeah, it's a book near PhD politics.
Good.
Patriotism, honesty, discipline. The Agyapong doctrine.
Yeah.
Written by Dr. Kenneth Kluche. And it's on the 17th. Yeah, memory day trim, yeah.
Yes, Lisa Hotel. I said, Nassim Kitwa.
I want to be.
There be man could meant to me uncle. Me, I can make us meant to me uncle.
Do you need
discipline? A PhD, patriotism, honesty, and discipline.
And I have discipline.
Abochenye do so BTA question. I do so. It's a book title PhD.
I'm here. What woman? We can't know my shoes.
Question me here.
Now we got a book by Copenhagen alone too.
All right.
I'm not the officer now. I'm not for me. That's why I'm holding invitation. I'm calling invitation. When you be at, where the be now?
There be here.
The brown wash. Nothing.
Any of them.
Another book
on Kennedy Japan.
On PhD.
You're not your PhD.
Any of them.
Kansas City.
Kansas City, baby, on my family TV. Net.
On what book?
What's any meaning? Any maintain?
Now, book, Dominic Crab here, nothing.
Da?
Can't tell me.
Where did you go? So also my brand invitation.
Invitation card.
Oh, I can't share next week.
Quality, Charlie. Hey. Well. Obi na ka na so. Ezi anuma bi ni sun se say ye hwe. Say ye twen. Nti ye twen and ye hwe.
Engineer Joada Ebe 26th.
Na anopa makan bi so a.
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Nkuye bacho mayinti na fiyenko
kojo medase
okay
me mo achi me na me senior brother so achi
yes sir
afiyeti fo ni ahwefo nyina so ne mo achi ampe na mama honorable Kennedy akompre ko Agyapong so achi se na se nyame so se mo ne ho bani team ni nyina no nkan ho na imse ba bia yaduro no nkonimdie ne de aye de awie afin so na mabohwi yakwa hafa no southwest na mama adofo ho nyina so achia no pay kojo me da se eyeme na ikakra nze na nakumia fantastic communicator but o hwe krata ya odi aba betu ho dia se nya wo kojo na wo ka se free na nakumia ka me doubt
sa
oh ade a kan wan hu hwe ni ti no na everybody no inshia title be no the mind so be kan bi o ma etiefo etia me se kojo nya wo e na wo ka chem se na nakomia ne trust ade we ya because there is no cohesion even in the letter now watch on it is a personal insult or say
and it's in Kennedy Japan's personal insult.
Did Kennedy Japan insult Bawumia? Can Eddie Bawumia tem? Your body knows what they ban. He's talking about accusation. So which is which? He's creating an impression in the minds of Ghanaians. Second, Kennedy Japan, Eddie Dr. Bawumia tem. But me let us body no. Also what accusing no. Since when the accusation ebe insult? And when you watch the video, when he did Bawumia tem baby, nowhere. You know did Bawumia tem. Enti nana kumia spin or try the atosono. I'm fine. And I expect him to live above. Unko nyaima o kanam ka se Abraham friend cook out se den no se munu no odidi no Ghana han ki nyaima cook no nka. So nana kumia should know say Kennedy Japan any di Bawumia temo baby a and is even on record say nipa bi o hon ma Kennedy Japan apam no every omo camp because omo kasa no ekutia Bawumia mama wunua kwakua nan e de ma Kennedy Japan ne kwakua nan nya problem a oni net tu bi because Kennedy Japan say ne kasa bi etia Dr. Bawumia. That is the only reason kwakua nan or the pam ni firo. So why do you make such a statement? Now he's talking about the fact say Kennedy Japan making statements be na unfair evidence mra on for video and as a tape. Internet is when your video it will be who they are. Not just a was a no. Anyone. If he thinks or also no may reply to him straight to that say. So if you say Kennedy Japan your kind enim wa gun hu fia on fa no court. Officer wanka wo say wo dia asema me wo wakan me manka. Push further, nyanso pushing famra. In any case, liar or trofo, and no de Canadian Japan kind. Yaga so trofo ne wan. Or trofo ni obi a odi ntro. Enti yeka entro nso a ene den. Entro ne asem a wo kan unim sa asem ya making enye sa na tie. Nanso so wa hyeda e na waka. Enti otrofo ye obi o kan nsem onim se enye no kre nanso waka. And was cite one example na kojo me cite bi ama wo enti sa no aka chem bisana na akomia se enye no kre se ebri bi a etwamu Dr. Bawumia Peace FM and unua Kwame Sefakan chairman general ekohia ama okache chairman general say MPP ba aban mu no na ono your friend is saying NDC abanya etwamu John Mahama aban di kind no any company be assigned contract for mobile money interoperability me crowd and answer na cast was 1.3 billion dollars me crowd cast Ghana cedis and renumre and one of the campaign strong tower in the campaign the former defense minister what is his name Nitiwu
yeah Nitiwu
by Unia good evening Ghana for the much program no my figure you say 1.4 billion dollars and about Bawumia say Mahama administration no a sign for mobile money interoperability say be ya who telecell say Vodafone obetia send money akọ MTN so send am away na mom Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say ono ne baaye no obenya ne far lower a price enra na mesati figure ni ye bion e free Nitiwu ho o se onya no 4.5 million dollars na just say sika NDC for the goods so Dr. Bawumia other Roma yetimi nya ne back no eye over almost 1.3 something billion dollars nti amo yensema no ene e boy yensema no you start elections yi campaign ya ekoso yi Dr. Honorable Kennedy Japan show say ono de enuma na even in his personal capacity wa employ nipa over 7,000 no Dr. Bawumia eba out say ono so enuma oye ene ne ideas o de baaye ama mobile money yetimi etimi fa nipa be 800,000 e ma omo dwuma na ye ne idea ena ono de mobile money interoperability e baaye eti ade John Mahama abamuomu ni assign ho contractor obato ye no eye den ne be dane wo idea out the buy kojo we ye no kwasem ana ye trosem ni bisaw ba me mpa no yi wo onu ananu masemu nana komia opetape na de be ma no 2 oko wa unua obi ekosi same program so 2024 elections ni bebem no akomodidie ni nyina na obi bisa na say enti monumental project ben na MPP 8 years ye ba ye ya ama the people of the north idea sabesi so aka say ade we ene ya amom Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia